So, automatic question. Can you elaborate on final merits for O-1 and EB-1?
Yeah, so the final merits analysis is part of a long history of decisions, and it's part of the way that USCIS is required to adjudicate O-1 and EB-1A cases. So essentially, there's this list of criteria for O-1 and for EB-1. It's 8 for O-1, 10 for EB-1. And if the person can meet at least 3 criteria, they should be considered for O-1 or EB-1. However, the government says that since the entire point of this category is to demonstrate extraordinary ability, not only do you need to just check 3 off the list, the officer has to take a look at the profile at the very end. They have to take a step back and look overall and ask themselves if the person has really, truly risen to the top of their field. Like, do they have extraordinary ability compared to others in their field? This is, in my view, a pretty reasonable request. I don't think that it's implemented in a very fair or reasonable way, but overall you can kind of see the logic. Like, the person does have to be extraordinary. It's not just about meeting a list of criteria that you could potentially game. So yeah, the final merits determination is not implemented consistently. Some officers mix it up in with each of the criteria. So they will say, okay, for judging, did you meet the criteria? And then were your judging opportunities prestigious? For leading critical role, did you meet the criteria? And was it demonstrating that you have risen to the top of your field? It's not technically how they're supposed to do it according to various court decisions, but some of them do it that way. Others will do a fair, plain language analysis of the criteria, and then at the end, they'll take a look at the case, and if they don't think you're extraordinary enough, they'll issue a notice of intent to deny, and then you have to respond to that showing why you are extraordinary, which is more of a persuasive argument and less of a formulaic argument based on criteria. I will say the final merits analysis for O-1 is not nearly as high as it is for EB-1. This is more of a feeling based on prior adjudications, but it seems like for O-1, if you prove you're at top 75% of your field, should be fine. For EB-1, you want to be able to prove that you are in the top few percent, like definitely above 10%, probably above 5%. If you can say you're top percent of the field, that's definitely much, much better. And then, of course, the more narrowly you define the field, the better the case adjudication will be, as long as you prove that you are extraordinary in that narrowly defined field.